host, Josh. This episode is brought to you by Great Lakes Discs. Whether you're looking for cool new gear or your new favorite disc, Great Lakes Discs has what you need. Click the link in the link, and you will see the Great Lakes Disc link. Click that and start your shopping today. While you're on the link tree, you will also see a link for Idio Sports. If you want to take your game to the next level, make sure you get Idio shoes on your feet. The only disc golf shoes made by disc golfers for disc golfers. Also use my discount code disc.seeker to save money on your next order. Without further ado, I'll let my guest fully introduce himself, where he's from, and how he even got into disc golf to start.
Hi, how's it going? My name is GT Hancock, and I'm from basically the middle of Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And how I got into disc golf, I pretty much knew what a frisbee was, but we broke the frisbee playing catch with it and went to go replace it and went to a sporting goods store and found these like plate looking things and come to find out it was disc golf. And I'd always wanted to play golf, and it was just too expensive for my family. So, and then a couple of like sports injuries happened in high school to where I couldn't do a whole lot of like multi shoulder things. Like I messed up my left shoulder a whole bunch, and then it kind of just like the Dallas Fort Worth area is absolutely huge with disc golf, and I've been hooked and played 4 or 5 times a week ever since high school, and that was almost 20 years ago.
Wow. So we're pretty close to the same age then, if high school was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, we're close. I mean, I'm gonna be 35 in August.
Yeah, I'll be 35 in November.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Very close in age.
It's crazy that high school is that long ago for us already.
Don't say that. It's been a great time.
So what sports did you do in high school before the injuries happened?
Well, they all happened because of sports. So baseball, football mostly. I ran a little bit of track. But what was like, I guess the special was football because my high school won a couple of state titles while I was in high school, so we were good.
Yeah, and being from Texas, everyone knows Texas is known for football.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So what were the Friday nights like as like what the movies make it seem like where it's basically like an NFL game where everybody in the city is at those games?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the middle of Dallas Fort Worth, so we were already had a bunch of people all the ways around us. But um, yeah, my stadium, our home stadium is still very large, and then some of like the surrounding high schools are, yeah, it's definitely at least a college level feel at like the stadium size sometimes.
Yeah, that's really
I mean,
cool.
it's no what's that big one in Ohio? I think it's Ohio that has the biggest one, or Michigan, one of the two.
Yeah, one of those two. So, with football being so big, how big is disc golf actually there? Is it like a lot of courses, or does disc golf get like a really good traction there too?
Both. So where I live is Bedford, Texas, and it's literally I can go 45 minutes in any direction, northeast, south, or west, and reach like 75 courses pretty easily.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So along with that, there's a lot of clubs. There's a lot of minis. There's minis Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Now we're on the weekend. Of course, there's disc golf. So it's like, I mean, for example, on Tuesday, no, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, I went to a putting league. They had $175 added cash. I got first place and won 260.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, if you're from Texas, you really don't even need like to go on tour. Technically, you could just find little like tournaments every weekend and make money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's B tiers, you know. I'm only 4 hours away playing an A tier this weekend. I can make it back home on Sunday, still see the fam, still, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I've played pretty much every weekend, and I'm almost in the 20s of tournament events this year.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
I would check, but it would close the screen. Yeah, I think I don't know. This is my at least third A tier already.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, third
So
A tier, one pro tour. Yeah.
yeah, so what was it like when you got your tour card? Because I believe you went on tour, correct? At some
Yes,
point.
I've definitely toured around the nation and only one side of the nation, which was at Worlds last year in Finland. But um that first year in 22, it was just like I'm high enough rated. Let me just sign up for these events and see what happens. I just like you talked a second ago before we started about sleeping in your car. I slept in my Honda Accord front seat all of 22.
Yeah. For people who don't know what that's like, it's tough. I did that like we were talking right before we started. I did that a few times when I did track days for when I took my sport bike to do track days. I'd have so much gear in my car where I couldn't sleep in the back, so then I'd have to sleep in the driver's seat. It gets very interesting trying to get comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. I since upgraded to a van and it has been way better.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it was an experience. It was you know, playing disc golf outside of your home area, which I had already played a bunch of courses. It just makes you realize what you have in your area and what could be, different, and you get to see a lot of, elevation and topography and anything and everything you get to see. So it's fun. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah. So that first year that you were out on tour, did you get like the rookie shock, we'll call it, where you kind of like seen a lot of these players like, wow, these guys' games are insane. I gotta kind of up my game a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made me try to elevate my game even more. That's for sure. And you said something about the rookie what?
The rookie shock, we'll call it, where when you're first on
Oh,
tour, did that ever happen to you where you're like, wow, this is it, like this is the big times.
yeah. I mean, it made me realize that having 400 mostly hyzer on the forehand is something you have to have on tour, and if you don't, you won't be able to survive unless you have an elite backhand, and very few people have the elite backhand only. So or the elite forehand only. So just like playing the pro tour courses made me realize how much more well-rounded needed to continue to work on. So yeah, there was a shock factor, but it's just like it's all doable. You just have to practice more.
Yeah. So would you say you're more forehand dominant or backhand? What's your playing style like? Or are you well
I'd
rounded?
probably go 60-40 on backhand and forehand. There's obviously certain days where the forehand doesn't feel as good or the backhand doesn't feel as good, but I feel that I could throw any shot, forehand or backhand, that is needed.
Yeah. So how do like pro players find the time to keep both forehand and backhand sharp? Because I feel like for me personally, if I spend my practice time focusing on my forehand, my backhand the next week for the tournaments is just trash. And then vice versa. So it's like, how do you balance it out? And how do you like figure out how to keep everything sharp?
Yeah. So, what? that's one thing that I actually try to teach a lot of people when I do lessons and try to pass the game off. It's something you need to do with your warm up, and you need to have a more consistent warm up because you can practice every shot every single day if you spend an hour warming up. It's very simple, in my opinion. So I don't go to um, a hole on a course and use that hole. I try to find a field to throw in to where I can basically create my own shots and learn my discs and what I can do with my discs, and then take those ideas to other courses versus take, you know, whichever course hole one. There's no other course like that with that hole one. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
if you spend more time in the field learning how to throw the disc and creating your own idea, it's easier to do a whole bunch of different things.
yeah. So you're talking about a warm up. So like in addition with the throwing for the warm up, do you tell people to stretch, and how do you tell people to stretch, or is that kind of a thing where just kind of get the muscles warmed up by throwing, that should be good?
No, I actually highly recommend a lot of active stretching. So, like arm circles, arm swings, leg swings, body twists, couple of squats, couple of high knees, couple of hurdles, calf raises. Just like try to get your body moving. It's from what I've understood, active stretching is better than just the standard hold and then let go. So it's just more of like actively trying to move every body part and just loosen everything up before you start throwing, and then you go to a field and spend time. What would I had just mentioned.
Yeah. So for you personally, when it comes to practicing, what is your favorite part of your game that you love to practice?
I mean, I can't get enough of disc golf, so all of it. You know, I like to throw. I've been really trying to work on my forehand touch approaches, so maybe that's something that I've been favoriting lately, right? Because it's something I've kind of struggled at for one reason or another. Maybe it's more mentally, maybe it's just like lack of knowledge of a disc or something. But I love it all. I mean, I go to putting leagues, I go warm up all the time. I play minis all the time. I play tournaments all the time. So it's like, yeah, I'm just doing all of that
Yeah, you're
consistently every single chance I get.
that's really cool. So how do you practice your putting, or you more so just kind of do all your putting at the course when you're doing rounds?
I would say, sorry, it's starting to sprinkle here. I would say, just what I really learned that I need to practice the most is a certain routine, and then getting myself comfortable. So if I can do the routine and be comfortable, that is what I try to practice the most. I mean, there's no certain distance to practice from. This always going to change.
Yeah,
I would say I try to practice like I play, so I don't always have two discs on my hand. I have one. But if you're a person with two discs in your hand when you putt during the game time, have it during the practice, right? So it's like you kind of just want to replicate what's most comfortable as often as possible.
yeah. Yeah, for me personally, like I started realizing, because I spent all winter focusing on 20-foot putts, and that's all I did. Now when we come to the season, I'm missing 15 footers, but I can drain anything further than a 20-footer. It's like, oh boy, I probably should just went all over the place for distance putting. So yeah. Um. So what is your top 5 courses that you love to play? It could be in your area, in your state, or even out of state.
I'll do like the few that I've hit on tour to start. I think the toboggan course in Michigan is the hardest I've ever played. Um, I would say Northwoods Black is right there as well. I would say Bad Rock Creek is also up there. I would go the Monster in Finland, and then I would go. Um, I don't know. I mean, it can be a combo of like the Virginia courses, not Virginia, the Vermont courses, the Smuggler's Notch courses. Those are beautiful. Um, it could. There's this. Yeah, I mean that'll work.
Yeah,
The debate starts happening after the first four. That's then it can be anything.
yeah. So what was it like playing over in Finland? Like was it is it a whole different culture with disc golf there, or is it kind of like what it is in the States?
It was definitely more advertised to the public. I mean, I took pictures with multiple posters of the Finnish players, like it's like the championship poster. I don't know how to explain it, but that was just throughout the town. There was advertisements for it on billboards and on like kiosks, and I mean, um, they had the like our putting the putting world championships was also like in the center of Tampere,
Hmm.
like in the very downtown, right next to the bus station. Um, there was an abundant amount of people, and I finished 40th. So I mean that's not amazing, but that's not awful. And there was people on every hole at the Beast, no matter what. And that's something I've never experienced, where there was guaranteed 20 to 50 to 100 people watching on every single hole, right? It was it was beautiful. The culture was awesome, the just like everything.
Yeah.
It was a good
So
time. I want to
so
go
with
back.
having yeah, that would definitely be cool to see you guys be able to get back over there and play there. So with that, like that many people like watching you, did that kind of add a little extra juice to your shots where you had to tell yourself, all right, gotta calm down a little bit, or did it kind of add a little bit of nerves where it's like, oh man, I hope I don't mess up for these people?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I have definitely played in front of a lot of people and definitely played on film cards consistent enough in the last couple of years to where it's really not a thought of like, oh, I need to impress these people. It's more like I need to make sure I'm going through my routines and doing the things I need to do to actually be successful, right? Um yeah, I mean, to continue the thought with like the did it give me like extra power or anything like that? That's something that I feel like always happens in tournaments, to where I always gain some tournament power versus practice rounds, where I'm throwing farther, where I'm more consistent, where I'm, hitting gaps easier. Um, it all kind of comes from the tournament power. So yes and no, a little bit to answer the question.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for people that like get super nervous when it comes to tournaments and then they like instead of having that tournament power, they actually feel like they kind of like get tight and then they get like and then they like completely keep snowballing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, um, that's something that I've learned how you actually can control. And it's just a simple matter of learning how to breathe and understanding that if you can control your breathing, you then can control so much more. So the simple trick is, when you are nervous, a lot of times your heart rate is really high. And so, what you want to do is learn how to reduce your heart rate. And it's a simple breathing trick. And it's a it's a sharp inhale through the nose and followed by a second one right away, and a deep exhale through the mouth. And it's got to be that order. That is legitimately scientifically proven to calm your heart rate and to make you feel more relaxed.
Yeah, I definitely gotta try that because like I struggle with tournament pressure. Like that's one of the major like issues with my game is like especially hole one when I go to step up the hole one, I get so like to the point where I feel weak and then I mess up my shot completely. It takes me at least 4 or 5 holes to get kind of back to normal.
Yeah, so I mean, even more going into that breathing thought, you can literally just inhale through your nose, counting it as one, exhale through your mouth, counting it as two. Goal is to get to nine. If you get to nine and you only think about those numbers and your breathing, then you can get to 18 and then you can get to 27. It goes in increments of nine. And thinking about your breathing keeps you more in the present moment, which allows you to relax your nerves, relax your thoughts. It's again, it is all stemming from controlling your breathing and learning how to control the situation around you by controlling your breathing.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. I like that. So, and then like with putting, when it comes to like for people who completely like have issues come tournament putting, where they're hesitant to actually putt because they're like, oh, what if I miss? Is there any tips to help people to overcome that what if I miss mentality?
Yeah, so I would recommend to that person or to anybody trying to get better at putting is if you can do your routine in practice enough times, you can do your routine in the game time when it matters, right? So for me, I mark my disc, I check the wind because it is always windy in Texas. I take a step back, I do that breathing method, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then I step up to my mark, and it's always on three. So I go three, two, one, and I putt. So creating whatever routine it is that you want to have, or the routine will allow you to bring yourself back to the putting green where you make all of these putts warming up and and not get so nervous and not get so like what if you can bring yourself back to your routine, back to that putting green right before you played where the putts were easy as all get out, you can do that same thing. You can make any putt you want.
I like that. That's going to be really cool. Um, So how do you stop yourself from snowballing during the tournament? Like you just had a bad hole. How do you get yourself to leave it at that hole and then move on and then start fresh at the next hole?
Well, disc golf is played on 18 holes, sometimes more, so you got to understand it's always one hole at a time because you can have the worst start ever and go three over through three holes, but birdie the next 10 holes and then you shot under par. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
to leave it at each hole, you need to be more in the present. And to be more in the present is again to understand how to breathe. To again, it's to find ways to like find the biggest tree on each hole. Step on this stick to feel your foot feel something. Pick out like three things that you can describe, like look at that green grass over here. Look at this beautiful oak tree. Look at this rose bush, right? You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
trying the goal like to leave it is to me try to get yourself back to the present and what's right in front of you versus what you just did because that's it over with. You can't do anything about it now. If you continue thinking about it, it's going to do something to you in the present and then again in the future. So if you can bring yourself back to the present, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. That's definitely gonna definitely help, especially for like players that are looking to get better, that are like jumping from the MA3 and looking to jump up from there. Like that'll help them instead of like snowballing a whole tournament just from one bad hole to help them recover and then get refocused. That's really cool. So what are you throwing this year? What's in your bag?
I'm sponsored by two Texas companies, so I'll start with them. So Meridian Discs, they're based out of Central Texas, and then Hooligan Discs, they're based out of Rockwall, which is East Dallas. So I'll run those molds over real quick. So for Hooligan, I throw the Cash, I throw the Thread, and I throw the Vibe. So the Cash is a overstable throwing putter. The Thread is a 9-speed straight to flippy to slight stable finish, and then the Thread is an 11 speed. I'm sorry, the Vibe is an 11 speed. That is for me my flippy driver. For lower arm speeds, it'd probably be something really neutral or has decent fade at the end. For Meridian, I putt with their putter, the Mojave. I throw two of their mid ranges, a straight and a ravine. I throw two of their fairways, which is a ripped current and a current. Oh, three of their fairways actually, and I also throw the Veil, which is an overstable 9-speed. Um, so those are the companies that I'm actually sponsored by and what I'm throwing, which is a good portion of my bag. And then for driver, I throw the Destroyer. For the 9-speed overstable slot at the Firebird, and then that Veil, which is like the absolute beef, like utility style. And then the only Prodigy I have in my bag still from when I was sponsored is the A2, which pretty much is the only one I'm throwing right now. And then very rarely am I throwing the F5 for a roller.
Nice. So you're able to be somewhat open bag as long as you have like a is there like a certain amount of molds that you have to carry by your sponsor discs?
No, I
No?
don't have to carry any of their molds, to be honest with you. But when I was when I when I was no longer sponsored by Prodigy, I Meridian started making discs, and I picked up one of their discs because I kind of needed a disc between two discs that I was throwing, and I liked it, and I kept throwing it, and they came out with another one, and I liked that even more, and I kept throwing it, and they came out of the fairway, and I tried that, and I liked that, so it kind of stuck. I don't necessarily have to throw them, but I throw them really good, so it's like, why wouldn't I throw them? Neither
Yeah.
company requires me to neither company requires me to have a certain mold. But I do like their molds, so I do throw them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some more light on my face because it's getting dark out here.
Yeah. Very soon
For
you'll
the
be
people
just a
that don't
voice.
know, I'm I'm in my I'm in my van at the property I'm playing an A tier at in Welder, Texas. It's near Austin.
Yeah. So do you have two rounds or one round tomorrow?
One more round.
Nice. How's the tournament
One more
looking so
round.
far?
Um, this is my first time at this event. So I practiced on Thursday. I really enjoyed the course. A lot of my friends were telling me that I'm going to play really well here. And I guess they just put that belief into my head because I shot a 7 down. I was leading by 3. There was only like 3 people that shot under par with me. The rest of the event shot over par. And then I shot another 8 down today. And now I'm up by 8. And the next
Nice.
closest to me is the highest rated player in the event. So I'm playing really, really well. Uh, it's been really windy, and I mean, honestly, the wind has been music to my ears. Not trying to be as humble as I possibly can. It's just something like I've gotten so deep into my routines and my breathing. Like hearing a bunch of noise outside of my thoughts is just like a comfort. And to me, it's been not windy, and to others, it's been just everything but calm,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, for me personally, I kind of like it when tournaments are windy because I throw a lot of sake bomb felons and generals. So those are all overstable. So I'm set. Like it just fights right through the wind and it's like sweet.
Yeah, yeah. In Texas, overstable is king.
Yeah. Man, maybe I should get down to Texas and play a bunch of tournaments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we're getting really philosophical, like the reason why overstable discs are most common, in my opinion, is because they're the most predictable. We're using the natural spin of the disc. We're not trying to manipulate them. And if we do manipulate them, they typically fight out and have a good finish for us. You see what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I throw a lot of straight to overstable discs and then work off of that. Like I want to use the natural rainbow. I want to use something that is consistent, that I can rely on and predict and understand this is what my body produces with this disc.
Yes. For me, I like doing the forehand flex, so I use the felon and the general. I send it on the Anheuser, it holds it perfectly, and then finishes out perfectly to the back to the right. So it's like a guaranteed money shot every time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Predictable, right?
very predictable. It's like to the point where I can predict exactly where it's going to land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Backhands are a little bit iffy, but I still kind of just go for like neutral or a little bit stable. So that way, even
Big,
if I shank
big,
it, it's still coming back.
big forehand guy, huh?
Very big forehand guy. Yeah, the
What would
backhand is
what would you
something.
say?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say if the backhand is something that I discovered last year, and it's spotty at best. So I'll just take a forehand anytime I can use it.
So what would you say your percentage of backhand forehand?
Oh, that's 80% forehand, 20% backhand.
I was about to hear, I was thinking 85-15, honestly, just based off what I heard.
Yeah, yeah. If it like if I'm on the tee, I will search for a forehand line, and if it's not there, I'll be like, all right, I guess I have to use the backhand. But even still, I'm like,
Yeah,
I think there's a gap out there I can get a forehand through.
yeah. I mean, Chandler Kramer does it only forehand, so it's certainly doable.
Yeah, and then I'm probably one of the few people that could take like anvils and verdicts, which are super beefy. I could hyzer flip them, or I can manipulate them to like get around things and then scoop back into exactly where I need it. It's like yes,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A little soft flex and the soft turnovers and fades and the little S shapes. Yeah, perfect.
yeah. So as we're wrapping this up, you got any questions for me?
Um, yeah, you are based out of the Carolinas?
Buffalo, New York.
What'd you say?
Buffalo, New York.
New York.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, yeah. You
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Charles Quinn is was on your bag at one point.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
he helped me win the Texas or the New York State title.
Yep.
And then he was there to help me play well at the AFDO 2 years,
Yep.
2 years in a row, I think. Yeah, we used to be sponsored by the same apparel company.
Yeah.
I have since went with someone else, but yeah, he's good people. I really like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy in the local scene. Like everybody knows him and his twin brother, and everyone's like, "Oh, hey!" So he's a good guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I hope to make it back up to that area soon. Kind of developing a little family opportunity, so I've been trying to keep it a little more local. That's one of the reasons why I'm here in Texas and is not in Jonesboro right now because of
Yeah.
the family that I'm working with, and got a new puppy. He's 5 months old. Actually, he might be 6 months old now.
Nice.
He's a mini Australian Shepherd.
Ooh.
It's my first ever dog, so it's like, and he absolutely adores me more than my girlfriend and her kids. So it's like it's hard not to want to be home and be near him when he
Yeah.
clearly favors me.
Yeah, definitely. So, what do you think of the puppy? You like having a dog, or is it still kind of getting used to it?
No, I love it. I mean, I've always wanted a dog for a long time, and having the opportunity to have my own dog, and he knows that. I feel like he knows that he's my first dog, and he just loves me that much more because like he's so much more well behaved when I'm around, and he's so much more like under control. And the girls complain about it all the time, but you know, I love it. I he's so cute. He's super handsome.
Yeah. You think he's gonna be on the road with you at some point, or is he just gonna be kind of at home all the time?
I mean, um, the the girls. So my girlfriend has two girls. So my three girls and my dog actually all came down 2 weeks ago to Victoria, Texas, which is 6 hours away. And we that's where I won the Texas state title again for the second year in a row. And so they
Ooh,
all came down and
congrats.
watched me play. And yeah, thank you. It was a crazy, crazy event. But yeah, yeah, they travel a little bit. Um, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So, what goals do you have for this season?
Um, I really, really, really want to perform on the pro tour. That's something that I have not been doing, or I have struggled at. I have had a couple of flashes, but it's like the overall consistency on the pro tour is not there. But when I come to an A tier, no matter where I go, I'm like always in contention. So it's like I want to do the things I need to do like I do in A tiers in a pro tour and perform. So coming up, the tour is coming to Texas. That's another reason why I haven't left Texas because everybody's going to come back here and like, yeah, there's a Jomez event right before the Open at Austin, and I just really would like to play well. I don't have an overall outcome there, I mean, I don't believe
Oh,
expect.
hold on. Oh, all right, you're back.
Oof. I'm just
There we
saying
go.
I don't believe thinking about outcomes is really going to help me in the overall scheme of things. I just want to play well, so that's my goal is to play well at those big events when I have the opportunity coming up. And then play well at Worlds. I signed up for Worlds in Michigan. Who knows what happens between May and Worlds in late August, early September. But just try to perform on the pro tour because I know I can do it. I know I can perform. I know I can play well. I just need more opportunities and um yeah, again, just play well on the pro tour. Be
Yeah.
myself.
I believe you could do it. I think you could be on lead card and dominate.
I'm showing the skills. I have the opportunities. I believe in myself just as much.
Yeah. Final question I have for you is how can people support you and where can people find you on social media?
We'll start with finding me on social media. Just look up GT Hancock on Facebook or Instagram. I think Instagram is gt.hancock. The Facebook is just GT Hancock. How to support me? Help support my sponsors. Get some Meridian discs, some Hooligan discs. Buy some beef jerky from Big Country Beef Jerky. My new apparel sponsor is Villain Disc Golf. They are actually the ones that made this hat for me. And the best cart in the game. Rogue Iron. They used to be based out of Texas. And yeah, just support them because anytime you support them, they support me. And then buy some discs from me anytime you see me because I have too many.
Cool. Hey, thank you for taking the time to come on tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, and let's try to do it again soon.
Yeah, definitely. All right, have a good night.
Thanks, man. You too. I'll talk to you soon.